Hi everyone. Today we have Vinay Sunil Patil, who secured All India rank 122nd in the Civil Service Examination 2023 with Agri optional. So today he joined us for sharing his valuable inputs for the preparation of Agri optional. Welcome Vinay. Hi.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So first of all, congratulations for your success in the CSE.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I have a few questions regarding this Agri optional. So from the student's perspective, I'm asking this question. So if you clarify those questions, it will be very useful for the students. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So initially for a fresher, when they come for resource preparation, so how they should plan for the 1 year period, starting from June to next May?
So, sir, if a candidate is starting around June, then it depends upon whether he or she is ready with a decision of their optional or not. Then the initial priority should be to understand the syllabus and the previous year questions and the demand of the examination around those subjects. And then our target should be around before 3 to 4 months before prelims we should be ready with mains preparation. And in mains preparation especially the focus first priority should be to essay, ethics and optional syllabus. And then we should devote time to that. And our preparation will also depend upon whether we are going for coaching or not, and
Mm.
how ready we are with our optional. So
Okay, okay,
considering all these factors, we have to plan the timetable for from June onwards. And I think our priority should be to write essay. We should focus regularly after covering a significant portion of the syllabus. And then whether we are going for class notes or not, it will depend upon our decision for that. So 3 to 4 months before prelims, we have to plan, sir.
okay, okay. Yeah. So regarding after the declaration of the prelims result, we have only approximately 3 months time for the mains preparation. So in this time gap, we need to focus on GS, essay, and at the same time optional paper also. So how do we manage all those areas? Because you also
Sir,
secured good marks in GS also, GS and essay.
yes, sir.
So yeah.
Sir, in my case, this was my third attempt. So
Mm.
earlier I had prepared enough for other subjects also. Means for polity, economy, history, I had prepared a lot. So after I failed my second attempt, I thought that I'm having 12 complete 12 months to for the third attempt. So in that period, I decided that I will be ready with essay, ethics, and optional before prelims. So kept on writing essays around 15, means once in a 15 days. I had my ethics notes ready, ethics class notes ready, and I had my optional notes ready for most of the topics. So after I cleared my prelims, I had that confidence that I am ready with essay, ethics, and optional for most of the part. So writing part was something that I had not prepared much, but with the content part, I was ready with this. So I was ready with around 1,000 marks in mains right after I cleared my prelims. So those who are looking for 2025, they can make sure that they are ready with these 1,000 marks right after their prelims. And during mains, we keep reading about GS. Means during prelims, we keep reading about GS, and we have to use that knowledge for most of the GS 1 to 3 papers. So this was my strategy. And after prelims, I focused more on writing part, and how to write answers and how to complete paper on time. And also after prelims, my schedule was like uh, around, I on Sundays I used to write essay in the morning and ethics paper in the afternoon, because I was ready with them beforehand. So means during actual mains also we have to write essay in the morning and ethics in the afternoon. So as I was ready and I had to only revise these things, optional and ethics, I had to only revise it and write papers. So this thing helped me. And my strategy was to in optional, my strategy was to focus on reproducing as much content as I can, rather than only focusing on structuring and all that things. my focus was more on reproducing the content. So after prelims, it's all about how confident you are about mains preparation, and it depends upon what you did in this June to December period.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So for a fresher, what is your suggestion or how they should start with Agri optional? So for any optional preparation.
Sir, if for agriculture optional and if somebody is fresher, the strategy will be divided into two parts. For some people will be coming from agriculture background and some from non-agriculture background. So for those coming from agriculture background, they should first look at syllabus and previous year question paper. And my focus was to make 1 to 2 pager notes for each point in the syllabus, especially for paper 1 in agriculture. I was able to do this perfectly. And then after making notes, the focus was on revision and then on writing. But for non-agriculture background candidates, they have to focus first on understanding the concepts, building the basics, because questions, they may, after a point of time, they may start finding it difficult to sustain the temperament in that optional. So if basics are cleared for them, it will be of a huge help. And for non-agriculture background candidates, they have to give more time to agriculture optional, and also we have to make it a bit dynamic during preparation so that we can sustain it for long period of time. So for freshers, rather than making a hurry to go into answer writing, they should first focus on building the content and then look forward.
Okay, right. So what is the importance of notes making in this preparation? Actually, it's very important for the exam preparation. But regarding agriculture, what is your strategy? Because since you're agri student, so many students they will directly read in the book. So whether the notes making has any importance in the preparation or
Sir, regarding notes making, my strategy or my decision was that through discussion with my seniors, we had decided that we will be making notes, because the reference book that are there in the market, they are mostly not catered to the UPSC syllabus. They are for that subject specific there, and the requirement of UPSC syllabus is very specific. So, for example, for agronomy, we have Reddy and Reddy book, but we don't need each and every chapter of that book for UPSC syllabus. So, getting the content out of that, which is very specific to our optional requirement, is very necessary. So, that was one of the importance of note making in my strategy. Also, note making helps in confidence building. In the end, it is very important for quick revision, value addition aspect. And in the end, my experience was that whatever and however notes we prepared, it is the means our answers are the reflection of our notes. So whatever diagram and whatever facts and what kind of notes we make, uh, it gets reflected in our answers. So note making is very important, and we have to be specific with note making, how much importance we should give to which topics, and how lengthy they should be and how crisp they should be. It is a kind of balance that we have to strike in notes. So means, yeah, personally my strategy was to go for note making rather than reading the whole book, and it has helped me a lot.
good? Yeah, and you scored very good marks in optional. So please share your strategy regarding the answer writing practice for optional.
Sir, as I just said, that your notes will be, your answers will be the reflection of your notes. So, first of all, my strategy was to make good notes. Then, revision of those notes was a very important thing, because it helps to whatever is there in our notes, we can reproduce it, and the content should be at our fingertips, because most of the questions in our optional are repeated from the previous year questions. So if we are aware of the topic and the question around it, and we have made right notes and revised them, then it helps us to complete the paper on time. So answer writing strategy was mainly based on reproducing the content on time. and then presenting that content in a desired way, in a way that makes it easier for the examiner that the candidate has addressed the demand of the question. So these two to three things help me. Also in answer writing strategy, means we will be talking about this later, but the selection of question and time management is something that is very important. And if there are two scenarios, that if we are having too much content in answer, we have to use some smart techniques where we can present that much content in a limited space. But sometimes we are having less content on that question, but still we have to complete those use that space given. So there we have to expand whatever content we have in using the language aspect. So answer writing strategy was based on this only, that content is going to be the core point in answer writing.
So whether a short answer rating or should we try for a full length test series or a daily answer rating practice, which is best for
Sir, my experience was that I could not write daily answers, but
mm,
as many people are doing it, and it is also being suggested. But in my case, I was not able to do it. But my experience is that if we have completed a section of the syllabus, and we think that we have to check whether, means how much we have learned and how much we are able to reproduce it, then we can look for sectional test of that syllabus pointer. And in my case, I was able to complete only the full length papers, because in full length paper whole syllabus is there, and
mm,
it also tests our question selection and time
yes,
management strategy. If we keep writing daily answers one or two, it helps, but it cannot replace writing full length papers, because there are some means non-academic aspects of answer writing are also tested in full length papers. So whether we go for daily answer writing or not, but it is not a substitute to full length papers.
good, good. Yeah, correct. So, what are the elements we can add in the answer rating in our answer paper, like innovations, diagrams, flowcharts? So, the importance of those things in the answer rating.
Sir, my experience here is that
Hmm,
if it is there in your notes, then only you can produce it in your answers. Because while writing the mains paper in the actual exam hall, we don't have that much time that we will innovate something sitting there and then present it. So
correct.
most of the time, it should be in your notes only. So whatever innovation is going to be presented, it will be during preparation only. And my focus was on finding some unique case studies related to that topic, so that some realistic view can be given to whatever answer we are presenting. And as you said, facts, figures, diagrams, flowcharts, these things also help. And for those things, I use some dynamic sources to um, get some content that will make my answers unique.
Yeah, correct. So, recently the UPSC pattern has been slightly generic regarding the optional question paper, especially agriculture. So, recently they're asking questions from actually the questions are from syllabus only, but those questions are not from the previous year question paper. So, how did you manage the unexpected areas in the question paper? Sometimes the questions
Yes,
are
sir.
highly unexpected. Yeah,
Yes, sir. This year we found some surprises in the question paper. Uh, means at that point of time, sitting in the exam hall, my strategy was to handle whatever situation I am presented. But right now, after getting selected, I can see that first of all, we have to understand that examiner knew these things, that examiner knew that this is not a previous year question, and it is less likely that all the candidates have prepared it. So if we think that we are going to write average answer for it, most of the candidates are going to write average answer for it. So we don't have to panic there. This is very important in the beginning. Then question selection is very important. Suppose there are two to three questions from unexplored areas, so we have to select it wisely, that we will be getting minimum penalty for less quality answers. Then before that, we have to prepare each and every pointer of the syllabus very in adequate depth, so that our choices in question selections are more. Because if we have left some topics and then some unexplored questions, unexplored area questions come, then we are reduced to further lesser choices. So whatever is in our hands, we have to prepare it thoroughly. Then we should not fake it. Means just for the sake of writing that answer, if you are not aware of that topic, we should not fake it completely, write random facts, and just for the sake of filling the space, we should not write anything. We should in that question we should look for generalized things, so that we can get at least some marks, but it should not be such that it creates a negative impression on the examiner. And means we should try to be generalized in that. That's the only thing. And we should believe that examiner knows it very well. So focus on just addressing whatever we know about that topic and select the question wisely.
Good. Yeah. All right. So regarding this question selection, so what is the basis for selection to score high marks out of this 8 questions? Because we have choice in the optional paper.
Yes, sir. In regarding the selection of question, we should first ensure that we have to see, focus and cover each and every point of syllabus, so that our choices are more. We are comfortable. We should be comfortable with most of the questions in the question paper. Then the selection of question depends upon how many sub questions are there in that question. For example, if it's a 20 marker question and there are 4 points in it where we can subdivide it, then we can think that 5 marks will be there for every type, and then we should try to score 3 to 4 in every sub point. But if it is for 15 markers, then we have to divide it accordingly. And if the question is very generalized in nature, then we have to be cautious about selecting that. Try to select more technical question where we can present some diagram or some case studies related to that. In this year's paper, there was a question on FPO, Farmer Producer Organization, and I was very much ready with one of the best case studies around in my region about an FPO. So, about and considering other questions in that question, I decided to go for that. So we should not do mistake in selection of question. Also, means very rare this mistake happens, but the rule regarding the question selection, that we have to select one from each section. Sometimes it is seen that this mistake has also been committed. So we have to see whether it is generalized or specific. How many sub questions are there? Is it a technical or a simple plain question? And then based on our preparation and how what quality of notes we have made on that topic, we have to select the questions.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So tell me your specific strategy regarding high score to get high score in the optional paper.
Sir, a high score is quite a subjective term when
Yeah.
it comes to preparation. First of all, we have to ensure that we have to reach the average. It is very important because
Actually, it's
during
getting yeah. Recently, even if you cross 270, okay, earlier 3 4 years back, so one's target is to achieve 300 plus 300 plus. But now 270 is considered the best score in optional, any optional.
Sir, I think the average is now around 240 to 50. So
Yeah, yeah,
we have to ensure that we are first reaching there. And for that, it is very important to ensure that all the basics are covered. We are able to complete the paper on time, and we are able to produce the content that we have learned. Then the means why it is important that after clearing prelims, we are burdened with so many mains related things, that it is very important not to go very low in a particular in one paper, because it is seen that some candidates score very well in all the papers, but in one of the paper they score so less that it that paper takes them down and they do not clear the mains. So it is very important to reach the average stage first, and then the race for high score starts. In that race, first of all we have to focus on producing the content, but now the thing is to produce good quality content. In that we have to focus on what kind of facts, figures, data, flowchart, diagram, and case studies and examples we are able to bring in. Then revision is the key. If we are properly revised with it, then we will be able to write it fast, we will be able to complete the paper on time, and we will be able to recall all those value addition points that we have. Question selection is also important in high scoring, and means high scoring in before the means the time when people used to score 300 plus in agriculture optional. That at that time the high scoring thing was very different, because as we just discussed, the unexplored area questions were very rare in those times, but now the unexplored area questions have increased. So high scoring is something that we have to score average marks in those unexplored area questions and score high marks in those repeated PYQs. So that's
Yeah,
the thing, sir.
good. Yeah. Um, Regarding this current affairs, actually, Agri is a technical subject. Is there any relevance of current affairs in optional paper, especially agriculture?
Yes, sir. In my personal case, I was very determined to use current affairs in my optional. Uh, we have made this conception that perception that agriculture is a static and we just have to keep it static, but there are strategies to make it dynamic, and the one who is checking our papers, he or she will also like some dynamic aspects in our paper. So we can add current affairs, uh, means to make the paper dynamic there is more scope in paper 1 than paper 2. In case of paper 1, in our Maharashtra, there is a newspaper called Agro 1. That Agro 1 newspaper it is a daily newspaper, and it is specifically dedicated to agriculture only. So there are case studies, there are everything related to agriculture covered in that newspaper. And those who are not familiar with Marathi language, they can see the translated version, Google translation version of that newspaper. Also from current affairs that we do for GS, it can also be used. Then I think DD News channel is there, DD Kisan or something channel is there, which covers some case studies related to agriculture. Then Kurukshetra magazine is something which from where we can fetch some case studies related to uh, answers. Means case studies related to especially the extension and economics part of paper one, and we have to use the GS knowledge for that. Also, so, try finding some case studies, facts, figures, and examples. But all this is possible only after you have covered the basic syllabus in adequate depth. Especially those from agriculture background, they have enough time to focus on these value additions. So we should have to. It is right time. We have to focus on making it dynamic, sir.
Yeah, get it. Actually, Agri is one of the best optional for Agri students,
Yes,
but they also face one major difficulty in this paper. That is
yes,
the major syllabus package of practices for important crop plants. In
yes, sir.
paper one and paper two, we have in the paper one we have agri crops and paper two horticulture crops. And one more major area, the pest and disease management for various crop plants. So how do you manage all those areas?
Sir, first of all, means I will address it honestly that I was the least prepared on this topic, especially the entomology, pathology, and the package of practices part. I This was one of the weakest area in my link, in my agriculture optional preparation. My experience right now, I can say, is that uh, those crops which are repeatedly means which are repeated almost every year or around every year, we cannot lose question on that crop. For example, in horticulture, in case of fruits, mango and pomegranate, apple, these crops are regularly repeated. Also in other wheat, rice are regularly repeated. So we cannot be unsure of these kind of crops. But if such crops are asked which are not in our routine knowledge, then we have to write some generalized aspects related to package of practices of that. And there are some pests which are found in they are called polyphagous pest. They are mostly found in most of the crops, on most of the crops, and the strategies to control them is also For example, the integrated pest disease management strategies. We can have some generalized pointers where rather than leaving the space empty, we can write something related to that. Also, we have to focus on making a visual memory of most of the crops that are there. So if we are having the visual memory of how that plant looks, and how it is harvested, or what kind of flower it is, what kind of fruit it is, then based on that visual memory, we can produce something. And also it depends upon what region you are coming. If that crop is the main crop from your region, then we can fetch you can fetch good marks in that question. So it is a challenge, because making notes for these topics is also very challenging. If we can look for some degree college notes, if they are readily available. In case of entomology, from our college, we have very good notes prepared for pest disease management. So I use those notes. And if specifics are not known, don't fake it. Don't write random facts in package of practices, because examiner will get it. So if we don't know the specific, write some generalized points, and there are some templates related to that. For example, if we have to write package of practices for a crop, what kind of soil it requires and what kind of climate it requires, if we don't know the specific part, we can write some generalized points for that. So those templates must be ready. And uh, means make pray for pray that regularly asked crop will be asked, and some random crop will not appear in the paper.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Vinay. Yeah. And one more last question. So regarding recently, Agri is getting importance in our UPSC question paper, even the GS also. In a GS mains, there are 4 questions from agriculture, and in prelims also there are 4 to 5 questions from agriculture area. So how to manage all those areas in these subjects?
First of all, sir, in prelims part, if agriculture related question gets asked, uh, we don't have to take it on our ego that we must know it, because I have seen that some people have come under pressure that I'm not able to solve a question from agriculture optional in prelims. So it is fine that we may not be knowing it. In prelims, the cutoff is now so low that we can afford to not attempt few questions. In case of mains, in especially in GS3, the agriculture knowledge helps, and especially in my case, I am getting around 108 or 109 marks in GS3, and agriculture knowledge has helped me a lot. It also helps in economy part of GS3. It also helps in environment part of GS3. So uh, if we have to write the GS answers, we should ensure that we don't go too much specifics of GS3. We have to keep it generalized, and in case of GS answers, we have to link it with different GS papers. So using the same knowledge but understanding the requirements that are different, agriculture optional knowledge can be used in GS also.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Any other suggestions or ideas to our students regarding agri optional?
Yes, sir. Uh, in agriculture optional, I dedicated a lot of time for agriculture. Uh, every time I studied agriculture, I found some lacunas in my preparation, and I kept addressing that till the end. And even now, right now, I am sharing some strategy. Yeah, even if I have to give another attempt, I will be go back to my optional preparation and start looking for lacunas in my preparation. So don't worry if you think that you have missed some point or you are not ready with some point. Even those who have cleared the exam, they are not perfect in their preparation. Also, we have to understand the difference between the requirements of UPSC agriculture optional and the agriculture as a subject requirement for different exams of agriculture. We have to understand this difference. And for answer writing part, means here it is descriptive paper. So the requirement is quite different, and focus on good notes making. Try to use a senior's notes But I would advise that if you are having time, go for your own notes because they help a lot. And revise as much as you can, and try to bring the content at your fingertip. And then answer writing and answer presentation will be something that you should focus in the very end, before you have ensured all these things are properly in place. And some people have asked me whether it is a scoring optional or not, or whether non-agriculture background candidates can take it or not. For non-agriculture candidates thinking of taking agriculture optional, I would say that means we have seen a result in recent time that they have scored good marks, and the coaching institutes have ensured that proper guidance and proper knowledge is available. But try to be sure about your decision, because it is very means it is not in our interest to roll back once we have taken the decision. So I would just say all the best to the candidates, and focus on whatever already is being told by other toppers also, and just keep addressing the lacunas in preparation.
Thank you so much, Vinay. Thank you for your time. I
Thank
hope
you, sir.
this information will be useful for our students, and I wish you all success in your results career.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Vinay. Yeah.